Hello and welcome back to Supercoach Challenges. My name's Jacob and this is the second video. Today we're going through the defenders for the, I've changed up what we're going to do because I was thinking about it over the week and I just think that this year anyway, because we'll probably do different challenges each year and I might do more than one at once, these rules are probably going to be a little bit too restrictive to actually be kind of competitive. So what we're going to do is we're going to change it up. This is going to change to a mid-prices only team, an actual strategy that people could undertake when playing Supercoach. So what I'm thinking we're going to do is I am going to have a little caveat to it. So we're going to start with all mid-prices. There'll be no premiers in this team. And I cannot trade any players until the third round when price changes start. So that's going to be the difference. Instead of having until round 10, we have to keep all 400k players. We're going to change it so that we can kind of still upgrade along the way as well. Because this could be a strategy then that you could potentially use, say, come another year. It will never get used though. But it'd be interesting to see how it works and it will show a different team to what the normal that is being played with. So what this is going to mean is that we're going to be starting at the bat, no premiums, but we are going to be able to watch the premiums and see how they go, and then select a team based on that. So from round 3, I'm thinking once the first price changes, I won't be able to trade to round 4. We can do one trade a week to a premium until the buys. So before that, we can do as many, we can trade to anyone under 400k as much as we want, but we can only do one premium upgrade a week. Once we hit buys, we can use all boosts and upgrade the team from there to the full premium. It'll be interesting to see if there's a difference in the fact that you start with mid prices and your cash builds up, and then maybe you can outskill with rookies a little bit. By round 3, we're going to lose out on captains maybe a bit the first few weeks, but then after that, hopefully we'll be able to get that first captain in and be able to sort it out from there. And it'll be interesting to see how it comes along. Now, today is the defenders setup, and I had the team sorted until this afternoon. So for those of you who don't know, Elliot Yeo, as predicted, got an injury. And by many, he's never been able to go through a full season. And I think now you just have to drop him. We were all going, you know what, he's been fit. He's got through preseason, maybe this is the year, but a guy who's always had calf problems and now has another calf problem, I just don't think we can trust it. So that's going to change up the team a little bit, but we'll start. And the first person selected in the team is going to be Ben Long. Now, Ben Long, defender forward, which gives us a little bit of swing. Don't think we'll really have to use it, but he looks to be the guy who's going to be getting all of the kickouts from Gold Coast, as was shown on the weekend. And if we even look at his kick-ins, McPherson and Farah were also taking kick-ins in that practice game, and I doubt they'll be doing that throughout the year. I think it will be a share between him and Constable. I'm hoping it's going to be mostly Ben Long for the purpose of this team, but most super coaches will be hoping that Constable gets a bigger share of that. Now, I think that Ben Long's going to have a safer job security than what Constable will have. And hopefully he's going to be taking that line share of the kick-ins, which we know then turn into the points that we want. Now this one's one that's probably been flagged by a few, but we're going to go with Will Day. Now Will Day looks to be getting a nice role in the midfield for Hawthorn. He got 68% time on ground in the practice match and was able to score, I think, an 80 or 90 or so and get a good amount of disposals. And with Hawthorn looking to run more of their younger guys through the midfield, you feel like Will Day would be a part of that, along with Newcomb, along with probably Mackenzie, and along with maybe Josh Ward and a couple others in there. They've got rid of Mitchell. They've got rid of Amira. They're bringing these young guys in, and Will Day is going to be a part of that, and Warple, actually. But we'll talk about him later. So I think Will Day is in for a good run, and hopefully will be able to give us high enough scores to be able to keep him for a while and get that price rise. Next up is Hunter Clark. Now, this is another who looks to be getting more of a midfield role with the new coach at St Kilda. He's never been able to get on the field, but when he has, he's got quite a few disposals, and that was shown on the weekend as well. He actually had, I think, 24 disposals, which was quite good, and it was in a game where there wasn't, it was supposedly windy, which was not helping efficiency, and he was still able to get to that 80 or 90 area. And I think that him, Steele, and a couple of others would be the mainstays in that midfield. Now, with Caulfield going out as well, he's injured. I think that gives him a little bit of room as well to play off the back line, maybe play that rebound role. I know that they're wanting Wangan Miller, and I know that they've also got Sinclair, but I think that if Sinclair goes back, then Clark's going to get more midfield time, and probably vice versa. I reckon that will probably be the swap between the two. And Clark has shown he can do it, and hopefully that will translate in this team. The next one is a bit left field, but it's Mitchell Hinge. So he was a rookie that a lot of people had last year and the year before, dislocated shoulder the year before, played that kind of back flank, kind of trying to replace Rory Laird a little bit. And now it looks like he's moving on to a wing role, and he was supreme on that in the practice match against West Coast. He was able to get a score of over 100, and he was really driving off that wing, and he looks to be tackling like a maniac, which seems to be very much a part of the Crows gameplay. It's all about pressure, and I think that Hinge is going to be a main part of that off the wing, and the fact that he's tackling so much shows his confidence in his shoulder. So I think that Hinge can be a very exciting player this year, and I think he's going to be able to go to 80, 90, hopefully pretty easily. Now next is a bit left field. This was supposed to be our D6, is Jacob Wiedering. So Wiedering in the 2021 year back end had an average of 102.1. Now, the difference here is he did have Lockie Jones playing that intercept marker, which probably freed him up a little bit. Now, I'm thinking that within this past year, he's still been able to average quite a bit, and he had 112 in the practice game. So I think he's still going to be able to float around there. He's going to probably be the guy who sits at the back. He'll probably get that switch kick from Doherty to him to then Thard if they're switching. And I think he's just going to be a supreme player. He is a supreme player. If you look at how they played with Wiedering, Carlton were pretty much unstoppable last year, and he got injured last year, and that's where it all started to go downhill for them. And I'm hoping he can get back to that 80, 90 average, and I think he'll be able to do it, especially with another year into some of their backs, like getting Marchbank in there. Hopefully he's fit. Will kind of give him a bit of space to be able to move the ball a little bit more freely and get a bit of that free ball, which I don't think he could do as much last year. And Carlton do look to be on the up, so hopefully that will get to be more points. I mean, we're only going to probably need him for the first 11 to 12 rounds anyway, so he'll score enough. And then in that back end where Carlton fell off last year, hopefully he'll be out of the team and be upgraded. Now, the hard part is we're kind of going on the fly to pick the next player. There were a couple of options prior to this, Like obviously Yo was going to be that guy. He was hopefully a guy we were going to see become a keeper, but it doesn't look like it's going to be that way. So what I've been thinking instead is Jane Hunt is interesting, but I think if Bose plays, he's going to be the guy that we're going to be starting here. If Jack Bose doesn't play, I'm going to keep him in the team, but he can go to the bench. And because he'll get a game, he's going to get a game. I think it's just about conditioning at the moment, and we have the money where we can kind of play with that. So I think Jack Bose is the guy. He's going to get those, get enough disposal and make us enough money that we should be able to hopefully have him on the field, or if not on the bench as cover if required. Now, I'm in two minds. I've heard good things about Massimo D'Ambrosio, but I feel like a lot of the ball is going to go through maybe Mason Redmond, a couple of other players. It's a hard one to pick, Essendon. I haven't watched much of them. So my next thought is to go with one of the Bulldogs boys. Now, Stocker's also here. And I'm not look, Liam Jones is 34% owned, which is wild because prior to this, he was not owned so highly until that practice game. And he had 11 intercept marks in that. That's not going to happen in a normal game, I don't think. And I think that Crozier's drive is going to be a little bit more achievable. So I'm going to play him. And if this changes, we'll get the rookie right, because I think that Nathan Wilson will also offer some value. And I think that a few others here could also be interesting. But from what I've seen, Crozier at the price of probably playing off the bench as well is going to have the most chance to get us up to where we need to quickly, because these guys on the bench, we want quick money. And I think that Jones may be more of a slow burn with some spike matches, whereas I think Crozier may be able to consistently get 60s, 70s, 80s. I can't believe Mitch McGovern's playing, which I thought he had back spasms. The fact he's playing is very good for Wiedering, because that's another big defender that he's going to be able to use to get off his player a little bit more and support him a little bit more. Because I was thinking, what do they really have to cover that? Decoding is also an interesting one, but at 362k, I think he doesn't have much place to go. Last year was a great rookie, though. And from there, the last player we're going to pick is the man that's in everyone's team, is going to kind of cover off. Now, that's actually something I'm thinking about with Liam Jones. We could pick him as a cover off, but I think with Yo going out is actually very helpful for us, because it's forcing a lot of teams to now either go up to a premium and downgrade in other spots where they're going to have rookies on the field, or try and pick a rookie here. Whereas we can kind of go for those little bit pricier rookies and not have an issue, and we can match off against that. That's which is why Stocker is interesting. But everyone's gone into Jones, I'd have to say. That's what it looks like. It's been Yoda Jones and probably a midfield upgrade. 42%. So he's already come down 10. And that's going to keep falling. Lockie Cowan's also interesting, but I don't like his security. The last person we're picking, I didn't mention it because I got sidetracked. But anyway, it's going to be Ruben Jimby. Now, our rucks. So Ruben, he's like an obvious. With Yo going out, he could start on field now, because he is going to be getting way more CBAs than what even the practice match was now. And his scoring was already doing very well even with Yo in, and he had a great scoring profile, and now it's just going to get better. So, it's a hard one to pick. I'll probably emergency Jimby maybe Crozier, sorry, if Bose doesn't play. And then we can switch Jimby if Crozier doesn't go well. I don't know if Crozier's going to be picked yet. If he doesn't get picked, that's going to be Jones. But for now, this is the defense. Quaino is actually in 2%. If we look at our team, we've got a 65%, 10%, 7%, 3%, 3%. What's Ben Long? Has Ben Long fallen? Weedering's in 1, so he's not. And Mitch Hinge also is in 1, but they're probably just auto-selected teams. I'm surprised Ben Long isn't here. Is he fallen that much? Oh, he's in 1% as well. So very potty team so far, but it's what we've got to work with at this 400k level. So we're going to do our best with it and see what we can do. So as I said, follow along, like and subscribe. Mention in the comments what you think. If this is the best, mid-pricer defender setup. Wiedering could change. I think it's all risky here. We could go Wilmot and save cash and then just go, you know what, instead, let's just bank cash on our bench and use that to skyrocket earlier. But as I said, we are going to have a week or 2 weeks to kind of sort out these rookies final, before we're allowed to trade up to the premiums anyway, which is going to be in round 3 after the price rises happen. So after that week happens. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, but I'm hoping that we can get enough points out of this to keep us in good stead, because the first 6 or 7 weeks of Supercoach are always up in the air, and then once that happens, that's where it kind of catches up. So by the time buys go, we're going to have 8 or so premiums. Hopefully there's teams that have got failing premiums. We're going to be able to pick the premiums we're definitely keen on, that we're definitely knowing scoring well and have the role, and that's where we're going to catch these points up. So as I said, like and subscribe, leave a comment if you think there's something different that could be done or some different players that we should look at. But I think this is good. I think the new rule set's going to make us at least a little bit more competitive. Top 15k would be good because, as I said, we're starting without premiums. But if top 10, we'll see after the first week. We may have to reevaluate, but I reckon we got a good shot. All right. Thanks.